afternoon, welcome back to the Charente here in the southwest of France. Looks like it's going to be a day of sunshine and showers. Yeah, last night super windy, loads of rain. I mean, everywhere is completely waterlogged. I've got a feeling this is going to be one of those videos that takes me 8 hours to make. But I'm going to show you some stuff that I don't think I've ever put in a YouTube video before. And yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Well, hopefully. I'm not exactly a great filmmaker, am I? So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on. But yeah, I'm going to try and show you some pictures and some diagrams of the house, and yeah, try and explain what I was up to in the house, mainly before I started my YouTube channel, just to give people a bit of background, because yeah, I do get comments saying I've no idea what the house looks like, I've no idea where is where and what is what. So yeah, hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a good idea of what I've been doing and the daft things that I've been up to. And yeah, it's been an interesting project. So yeah, stay tuned. As it's Sunday, oh my god, it's so wet. I'm going to make my normal pilgrimage down to my nature reserve and have a little look. And I did come down a little bit earlier, actually. Keep climbing over this fence. One day the fence won't be there, or I'll actually, you know, have a gate there or something. Where was I? Yeah, so yeah, I came down earlier, and it wasn't raining. There's been so many showers around since first thing this morning. I've been sort of trying to get some bits and pieces done and then getting rained on, and that's probably going to happen now, although the sun is out. It's lovely. It's quite chilly though. I think it's about 10 or 11 degrees. So yeah, this is my little piece of heaven. If you're new to the channel, I've got a little nature reserve of around about an acre, and yeah, I'll show you some pictures that I took earlier. So that there is one of the main reasons I bought this property, actually, because I wanted an area that I could fence off for wildlife, and wow, that's just turned into a bit of a paradise. It's more like a water park now than a nature reserve. But yeah, there's loads of birds down there. Oh, it's just absolutely magical. Right, I'm going to go wander back to the house, and yeah, I'm going to start digging out some photos to show you. So I was playing around in the kitchen earlier, moving a few bits and pieces around. Yeah, I do listen to you guys. Thank you for all your fantastic comments. Yeah, some of my ideas don't go down very well with people, but I do try out your ideas and I do look at them. And yeah, I've been messing about, as I say, moving bits and pieces around in the kitchen just to see what it might look like. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that now. What I'm going to talk about is a piece of software that I downloaded called Sweet Home 3D, and hopefully, the camera just had a bit of a turn. Hopefully, it's going to help me explain how this house used to be. So yeah, originally when I first bought this house, there was only 3 rooms. There was a little bedroom on the north side of the house, little bedroom on the south side of the house that had the back door in it, and one big main room. which had the dining table in it, and it's actually where I slept. I set up a little area in the big room with my bed, and that's where I slept for, I don't know, loads of visits, because I used to come over for a few days at a time, week at a time, come over from the UK to France, and basically just tried to do a little bit on the house each time I was over. I didn't really have a plan. And the house has just kind of evolved over the last few years, and it's only been the last 18 months or so since I've been here permanently that I've actually been putting stuff on YouTube. So really, I should have been putting stuff on YouTube years ago, but anyway, I didn't know what the future was going to be like, so I had no idea I was going to end up living here. So there was 3 rooms, and I'll show you on the diagram. There's a room marked in yellow and one marked in red. The one that's marked in red is the one that backs onto the garden. For some reason they thought they'd have a bedroom with a back door in it, which I always thought was a bit strange. So the house is not really laid out very well, and it's really difficult for me. One of the biggest problems I've got with the house is that the main wall that runs down the middle of the house is built of brick, so you can't really change it, and it supports all the beams to the roof, so there's nothing I could do about it, and it has to stay. It's not in great condition either. It's been full of cracks and all sorts going on that I've had to repair. So that wall determines how the house is, and annoyingly the wood stove is in the big room, and I've made one of the bedrooms my living room. Well, I say made one of the bedrooms. Now, don't hate me, right? Don't hate me. A man with an angle grinder is going to do his thing. So what I thought was a great idea was to, bearing in mind that I thought I was going to, live in, use the house in a different way to what I actually do now, because it was going to be like a holiday home. I thought it'd be a great idea to knock the wall down that was between the 2 bedrooms. Well, actually, I didn't knock it down straight away. I thought what I'd do first of all is cut a doorway. So man had angle grinder, cut a doorway in between the 2 rooms. And I thought, I didn't really like it. Once I'd cut the doorway, I didn't really like what I'd done. So then I thought, I might as well start knocking the wall down. And so I knocked half of the wall down, and I just thought, it looks rubbish. So then I knocked all of the wall down. And within about 5 minutes, hated it, what I'd created. I'd created a room that was nearly 30 feet long and about 13 or 14 feet wide. So kind of, messed up big time. And obviously, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that not long after I got here, I decided to put that wall back. And I didn't quite put it back in the same place. I moved it up a little bit to create a smaller bedroom, which is marked in yellow, and a bigger room that is now my living room, which is what I'm standing in now. And I didn't just build the wall straight across the room. I built it at a jaunty angle. The reason I did that is because I wanted it to be only just big enough to fit the bed in. I'd put a window in the wall, which I wanted to be able to look out of my bed and look through to the back door and look out into the garden. And that works. It works perfectly. But the problem with putting that wall back, the doors to the living room, I ended up with 2 doors into the living room. They were in the wrong place. So I ended up building an angled wall, which has worked out fine. And lots of people at the time criticised me, but it's worked out absolutely lovely. And what I ended up doing is putting the kitchen sink in one of the doorways, and then using the other doorway, which is behind me, as the entrance to the living room. And you can see where the window is, which is above the kitchen sink. That used to be another doorway. So my living room has got no wood stove in it. The wood stove is still in the main room, which is why I'm having trouble trying to work out what to do with the wood stove. So I have actually made a video about how this room came to be. Now, what I've done, I've started off with a big empty room, the big main room, and I've divided it up. I've created a room inside a room, and that's marked in blue on the drawing. And by creating a room inside a room, I've, as I say, I'll show you this. I'll show you the link to the video that you really need to watch to have an understanding of what I did. I basically started creating an area which, because it was cold when I was coming over, of which I could create a bedroom, and I didn't really know how it was going to go, and the room just sort of, you know, got smaller. The walls got built and the room got smaller, and it just sort of appeared, this room, and that created a corridor, which I ended up putting the kitchen in, which I'm not unhappy about that. So that's how that's come about as well. So yeah, hopefully you've got a clearer idea of what the house looks like, what it used to look like, and what it looks like now. So yeah, still yet to decide what I'm going to do in this room, whether it's going to be, I think it's going to be a snug, and I think it needs a sofa in it. But yeah, see, the tricky thing for me is I'm not wholly convinced on wood stoves. Government legislation is going to be rolled out over the next few years. I know it's over a few years, where they're just going to ban burning of everything. They're going to ban it. You're not going to be able to burn fuel. You're not going to be able to burn diesel, petrol, wood, gas. They don't want you burning anything. So I've got a room here, excuse me, that can be heated reasonably easily, I think, with electricity. So that's always in the back of my mind when it comes to spending money on the wood stove idea, because I've already got a little bit of money invested in a new wood stove, and it's going to cost X amount to put in a new flue. Yeah, so it makes me wonder, is that the thing to be invested in, or should I be invested in making the house easier to keep warm? Anyway, that's what's on my mind. Hopefully this video has made the house make more sense. And yeah, I'm guessing it's still a short video, but it's going to take me absolutely hours to get all the photos in. So anyway, see you later.